Actually, it's going live. And we're live.
Okay, hi everyone.
Okay.
Welcome back
Hi.
to another chat with us. And if you are somebody who've been looking at our videos and thinking, I don't have the time and nor the money, so I don't think this is for me, then this chat is for you. So we are going to talk today about how we also didn't have the time and money to start the business, but how we prioritized and how we started this business and how we are doing along the way. So yeah, let's start with maybe Praveen. Praveen, what is your thought about, like, did you have the time and money? Like, we all are professionals here. We'll also introduce ourselves. But how, being a professional, being an engineer, how did you find the time and money to start this business?
Sure, Kavya. Myself, Praveen. I'm originally from India, currently living in Texas with my family, and I'm engineer by profession. Um, yeah, being engineer, working in oil and gas so I need to spend like 12 hours a day on my job. So definitely, I couldn't find the time that I need to invest in something else. But I keep saying this one. So everyone has got 24 hours in a day, and how we prioritize our time makes the difference. So if you want to be successful, how we are going to um, define this 24 hours. So for me, like if I take 12 hours a day for my job and 8 hours for sleeping, still I have 4 hours. And then what I'm going to do in that 4 hours will define my future. So that's how I see. I still have need to have time for my job, which is non-negotiable, and then I need to have time for my family. Again, that is non-negotiable. But I have time for social life, to spend time with my friends outside, and then I do need time for my personal, so my own time. So I started converting that my time instead of spending it on leisure, like watching TV or doing non-productive things. I thought to spend and invest that time in myself, so which could help me to define my future, and also helping me to set an example for my kids also. So I started initially, before coming into this business, I started reading books instead of watching TV. So I fell in love with books. So I at least read like 30 minutes a day, so kind of thing. And then once I come into this business, that helped me a lot to extend the time of reading books. So instead of doing like 30 minutes, I extended it to 2 hours, because I love to spend time in this business with the people, and then working for this business. And coming to money, being an immigrant, moving from India to US, so my main intention for most of the immigrants is to have a better lifestyle. But if you see the lifestyle, so it goes from here, and then they will be reaching the peak probably like 15 years. At the age of 35 to 50, they will be in the peak. But again, they will drop down drastically within 2 years, because while climbing the peak, they don't think how they are spending their money. So we need to have the mindset of, instead of telling like I cannot afford, to how can I afford it. So if you start thinking in that way, how can I afford it, then it will trigger you to go and look for something that will help you to invest in better things, and then spend your time money wisely. So for me, that's what I thought. So previously, before coming into this business, or before even thinking of doing this business, I always say I can't afford it. So if I want to dine in at a very expensive restaurant, I say I can't afford it. My wife keep pushing me to buy gold. I can't afford it. So that was my thought process. But after coming into this business, so I changed my mindset to how can I afford it. Then I found ways to do all those things. So all those things my wife needed, material things and all those things, I was able to afford it. So that's how we need to consciously train our mind to spend time and money in the things that will define our future. So that's all. Thank you.
Awesome. So instead of saying I can't afford it, start saying how can I afford it, right? Like, ask yourself, how can I afford it, what can I make, what can I do to make this happen, right? So we all did that. Okay, thank you, Praveen. Nandini, what is your thought?
So, firstly, I want to apologize to everybody. I was just on my phone as we first started because a very dear friend of mine who's in the business, her father passed away yesterday. So, I'm really sorry about that. But that makes me think even more about how if we talk about time, we none of us know how much time we're going to have in this world. You know, how much time are you going to have, and are you willing to set your priorities straight? And even as I talk about this, I get goosebumps. Life shows me more and more how time is so precious and so fragile. Okay, and I know one thing: if you want to do something, you will make the time. Anybody, if you want to do something, you will make the time. But if it's not your priority, you won't. And we have to take on board this that life is fragile, it's short. How are we going to spend our lives? How are we going to prioritize our lives? So I can never buy when somebody says they don't have the time. Wake up earlier. Wake up earlier. I mean, when I became a meditator, I did Vipassana, and we were told to meditate thrice a day. I would wake up at 4 in the morning because that is a commitment I made. So never say I don't have the time because that's not true. Secondly, about the money, I had no money. All my savings were finished. In fact, I had lost everything. I was facing retirement poverty, but I knew I had to do something. I was so clear about that. I was so clear. And I've never done a job where I somebody else. It's always been I'm a boss. I'm the boss. So when I did co-interviewing, people didn't hire me anyway because I was much older. So I didn't get that. But then I said, okay, if I let me do something, and I found this digital business, and I loved the idea that I'm going to be the boss of my own business. But I needed money to invest because let's face it, in a business, you have to invest your time, effort, and money. And of course, the investment here is nominal compared to other businesses. But still, let's face it, tomorrow you want to open a pan ka dukan, you have to spend about 3 lakhs. So in a business that's going to be consistent, obviously it'll be double or triple that. That's obvious. I mean, anybody who says that you're not it doesn't going to cost any money, you can be rest assured that's a scam. You can be rest assured that's not a business. So for a business, you need to invest sensibly. It needs to be a long-term plan. I was very clear that I wanted to join this business. And I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed. If you're clear, as Kavya said, as Praveen said, if you say, I do have the money, I just prayed and I said, God, I have to do this. I don't know how. Open the doors for me. Just open the doors for me. And I have to keep thinking that I'm doing this business. The doors are open. And you will not believe it. The entire money was gifted to me, and not just to join the business. After that, I had people who loved me so much, they gifted me the money to then, because even when you do a business, there's something you have to advertise, right? I got the money for that also as a gift. So the thing is, if you really believe in something, it will happen for you, is what I feel, is what I've experienced. As Praveen said, you can afford it, and then it is affordable. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Nandini. And she's a manifester I've seen. So, so if we really want something and if you really try to work towards it with all your heart, you will surely find a way to make it happen, is what I also believe. So, thank you, Nandini. Dr. Ruchika, I'm sure you're a busy, busy doctor. You have your own clinic, and I'm sure you didn't have the time. And I also know that that's the reason you started this business, to get more time for yourself. So I would like to hear your thoughts, Ruchika.
Hi everyone. For those who don't know me, I am Dr. Ruchika. I live in Calgary, Canada. I'm a family physician by profession. I joined this business more than a year ago, and I got attracted with online business because I was looking for time freedom. I was looking for extra time for myself. And I thought that if I had something running in background like a passive income, then I'll be able to give myself some time off so that I can enjoy my life. I didn't want to retire and enjoy afterwards. So this is the time I wanted to give to myself as a gift, so that I'm working, but I also have freedom for myself. I was missing out on a lot of things like spending time with children or exercising or traveling. So I had to think quite a lot to give time to myself. So when I started this business, my main aim was time freedom. And of course, I didn't have time, but I still jumped into it because I saw the potential of this business and I saw that in future it's going to help me. And I'm a strong believer that whatever you're doing now is going to go give results in 5 years. 5 years is always has been my timeline. So whatever I have done in the past as well, it has given me results in 5 years. Even if you do something bad, something that a blunder you do in your life, it can come back to you in 5 years time. And missed opportunities are like that. If you miss an opportunity in 5 years time, you may be thinking, oh, it would have been really good if I did that 5 years ago. So I have always kept 5 years as my timeline, like a milestone for something that I am doing today will give me results. So thinking like that, I thought maybe when I turn in next 5 years, I may be able to semi-retire. And for so this how I find time from the business, I just find pockets of time. Of course, everybody is busy, they have priorities, but as Praveen and Nandini said, we have to prioritize everything. We cannot just, if we have like multiple things, then one has to think which is more important and do that as a priority, and then do the next thing as the next priority. So that's how have always worked in my life. I usually make a list. I make a list of what it comes on the top, and my business is always there in the list. And I always give some time to the business, even if I'm working. Suppose I'm seeing patients, my training tab will always be on, and in between, if I have time, I'll just start watching something and start learning something new. So where there's a will, there is a way. And for the time, for the money part, that people say, oh, I don't have money. There are always options. If you don't have money, there are lots of options. You can think of cutting down on expenses that are not necessary. And I feel that having a surplus money is mostly, it's like a luxury for anyone. Everybody has some money, but they have expenses. So nobody has surplus money ever to invest or do something extra. But then you have to think what is your priority. And if you want to run a business which will give you time freedom and financial freedom for future, help you retire in future, then make it a priority. And instead of buying gold or car, invest in business.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Ruchika. So I like the way you said, I make a list of things that I have to do, and I include and the business is in the list, right? So that's the main thing. Like, there are many people who start the business and still don't prioritize the business because they take their job as the priority, and they feel that, okay, if I don't prioritize my job, it is not good. But if they don't prioritize the business, right, even after they start, so that's where everything changes, right? So you have to prioritize what you really need, because if you can prioritize this business and spend time on this business now, if you can sacrifice a little of your own time, like Praveen said, to, instead of going for luxuries and spending time with your friends, if you can sacrifice that time now, you can have more time for yourself, your friends, your luxury, everything in the next 4 to 5 years to come. So that's the takeaway from Dr. Ruchika, I would say. Okay, so Anija, what is your thought, Anijo? Anija is also
Yeah.
yeah. Still.
Yeah, I'm also a busy person. I'm from, those who don't know me, I'm Anijo. I'm from Edmonton. I work as a registered nurse here. So as everybody said, as every people think, I'm also believe I was very busy person. I'm still a very busy person. I do have 3 kids. So I believe that is the main reason that why I am here in this business. Because I am very busy. I want to make some time for my family, for my kids. That was my main aim of coming into this business. So, and I believe the time is like we have 24 hours a day, as Praveen said, but the time we cannot find go find time from or buy time from somewhere. We just get created. We have to create, as everybody said, we have to prioritize our life. So if we have that determination, if we have that self motivation to do something, we will find the time. So that is depending upon us. So if we have really, like when we have to go for work, like we will, whether there is a time, whether there is no way, like we will go, because we know it has to be done. So when it has to be done, we will do it, we will find that. Or we have to go like for an appointment, we will make the time, right? So because that's our priority. So that's the same way when we think this is our priority, I need some time, I feel it, this is the option for you. So when you are able to spend some time today, you will be able to get the result tomorrow, whether you can relax a little bit more or spend more time, quality time with your kids. That is the main purpose I joined here. So how I run even this busy schedule, how I run my business, all the time I will tell, most of the time I find even time my duty hours, like where I go for take my break, I get half an hour break. If so, that half an hour I use doing my business, or when maybe going to the work. That is the time I find most of the time, and not when I am at home. Most of the time I do my business when I am at break of my duty hours, or when I am going or coming back from the work. That's the way I find it. Or like, of course, sometime when the kids are put to bed, I may sacrifice my sleep maybe for 1 hour. Yes, because that's my aim. I need to grow. That is, when we have that aim in our mind, I believe we will find the way for it. Then coming to money, of course, we are in Canada, we work, all comes here as an immigrant. Everybody, we all have a aim, like, we want to grow higher, we want to get more better in our life, better quality of life. So we all struggle for that, or we all want to work to achieve more, something more, better life. But we find it's not something easy. When it comes to when I was in India, I was thinking it's so, yeah, just coming to Canada, it's going to be very nice, happy life. But when as an immigrant, when we come to a foreign country, it's not that practical, it's not that easy. Even though we get paid well, but still it's not that easy to achieve what we are aiming for it. So we need it. So I remember, like, when I joined this business, I didn't have any money in my hand. Like, we just brought a new brand house. So whatever the money we had, like, we used as a down payment, but we didn't have it. But then if I think and wait to make some money, then I start the business, I know it's not going to work. So I'm just going to, like, if I need some money, I'm just going to get it from my card, or I will use the line of credit. That's what everybody you do. So I thought, why can't I do that in this business? So that was the decision me and my husband together took that decision, and we just started. So I think so. Again, it's our self motivation, or it's our aim where we have to reach. That is our strong determination. Help us to take that brave step. Unless, I believe, unless we plant a seed, we cannot reap the harvest, right? So we have to invest something to get the result out of it. And we have to sacrifice a little bit, as Vijika said, we have to sacrifice our time, we have to sacrifice, or we have to invest something to get a better life, to better quality of life, and in both the ways, money wise plus the time wise. That's my belief. If I invest something today, I'm going to enjoy or I'm going to harvest the benefit of that in life to come. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Anijo. every immigrant story is what Annie just shared now. So all of us being immigrants, we always look for extra income. We feel that, okay, if we go abroad, we can have a very good life. But we know being immigrants, how difficult it is to make money and save that money for your future. So instead of going for another job, there are people who are doing this business with 3 jobs, right? They started this business because they can't go for 3 jobs, but they still need money, and they started this business with their 3 jobs, and after 1 or 2 years in the business, they quit all their 3 jobs and they're doing this business full time now. So imagine how much time they would have got back, right? But if they had thought, I already have 3 jobs and I can't do another business, I can't fit in this business, they would have still continued doing those 3 jobs, and still they wouldn't have had money to invest, right? So that's our story. All the immigrants and everybody's story, even if you're not an immigrant, it is our story. So you have to prioritize, is what I feel. So Deepti, what about you?
Yeah. Hi everyone. So my name is Dipti. I'm living in Calgary, Canada, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. I also hear a lot from other moms. Like I really want to do this, but I don't have a time. I don't have money. And honestly, I used to say the same things to myself. As moms, we are always busy cooking, cleaning, helping kids. Managing our families, but our day never really ends. But then I realized being busy doesn't always mean being productive. I was spending hours scrolling on social media or watching TV or just running around with things, but that were not really adding value to my life. So then I asked myself, what if I could take even 1 or 2 of those hours and put it into building something for myself. If I keep saying I don't have time, I don't have money, my situations will never change. So instead of wasting for free time, I created it. I started with small pocket of time, early mornings, nap times, or after dinner. And slowly those little pockets started making huge difference. We moms often don't think twice before spending on kids or on groceries or even on small shopping. But when it comes to investing in ourselves, we always hesitate. So I used to spend on things like eating out or buying new clothes or little household items that were not really necessary. So money was just going out, but nothing was coming back in return, right? So I stopped thinking it's an expense. I started seeing it's an investment in myself or in and my families. I always remind myself, if I keep doing what I have been doing, my life will stay the same. But if I take a small step today, even if it's hard, even it's feel hard, then that's when change things. So just one thing I have to say to everyone: if you say you don't have time, you need this business more than anyone, because it will help you to create time freedom. And if you say you don't have money, you also need this business more than anyone, because it gives you a way to create financial freedom. That's all I have to say. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Deepti. So the main reason you want to start, like if you feel that you don't have time or money, that's the main reason you have to start this business, right? Because that this business will give you both the time and money back. So if you're investing your time today, your money today on this business, you're getting back both your time and money in return, right? Like within the next 1 to 2 years in the business, you can actually make that time back. So if you don't change anything, you keep doing the same thing and you don't have anything coming back. That's what I say. So to summarize, try to prioritize your time. Try to prioritize what you really need. It's not about you don't have time or money. It's just that you don't have the awareness that you have time and money. You just are spending it somewhere that you don't need. Like Deepti said, you're buying something that is not actually required. You feel that you need it now, but you might not need it actually. So try to spend some money on yourself, invest on yourself, and try to get your time and money back, and so that you can travel more, spend more time with your family, and still earn on the side. So yeah, thank you everyone for sharing your thoughts today, and we'll connect again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.